Stop right there. Before you download that crypto app and buy your first Bitcoin, ask yourself, do you really know what you're getting into? Bitcoin has turned ordinary people into millionaires, but it has also wiped out life savings overnight. Here in the Philippines, young people are jumping on the bandwagon fast. But is Bitcoin really a good investment for you? In this video, you'll learn how to invest in Bitcoin safely and legally, starting with as little as 1,000 pesos. We'll cover the rules, the taxes, the risks, include a real safe example for a small first investment. Most importantly, we'll talk about the Philippine government's crackdown on unregistered crypto platforms. Bitcoin is called the digital gold, a way to store value beyond inflation and borders. Over the years, it has delivered staggering returns from just a few pesos to millions of pesos per coin. But it is wildly volatile. Prices can rise or fall 20% in a single day. On a very secure blockchain, many people lose money through unsafe platforms or even scams. But why people jump into the digital gold? Real talk. Older generations bought homes in their 30s, but today prices are so much higher, but salary increases didn't match it. That gap creates frustration and a search for faster ways to build wealth. Enters Bitcoin. We see stories left and right of people making huge gains, and our social media feeds amplify FOMO, or the fear of missing out. We all want to be part of the next big thing. But the overexcitement can have a very devastating result. Some people buy at all-time highs and they panic sell at lows, and that's a natural human tendency. Plus, buying a Bitcoin is only a few taps away nowadays. It's almost as easy as tapping up a GCash wallet. Local regulated exchanges let you start with amounts as small as 50 pesos or 100 pesos. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin called Satoshis, so there's no need for thousands or even millions. Apps like PDAX and Coins.ph are licensed to operate. They accept Philippine pesos and they're integrated with many local banks, so it's so easy to top up your investments. Which brings me to the most important thing. So how to check if a platform is registered and safe? Every platform must register with Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas as a virtual asset service provider, or VASP. Some also need Securities and Exchange Commission registration. Platforms offering services to Filipinos must register as Crypto Asset Service Provider, or CASP, and meet strict requirements. To verify that your platform is legit, check the BSP website's list of VASPs, review SEC advisories, and confirm that platforms display VASP number. In July 2025, the SEC, or Securities Exchange Commission, launched a major crackdown on unlicensed crypto platforms under the new Crypto Asset Service Providers rules. There were 10 major international exchanges that you can see on your screen. These were publicly warned for operating without license. Internet providers are being ordered to block access to these platforms. But the SEC, or the Securities Exchange Commission, clarified that trading crypto is not banned, but using unregistered platforms is prohibited. Now, the legal and regulatory requirements. Bitcoin is legal to own and trade, but not yet a legal tender. It's not like peso bills that you can use to buy goods and services. However, there are some establishments that accept Bitcoin via pouch.ph, but most stores or local businesses don't have to accept it. On top of that, BSP Circulars 944 and 1108 cover VASPs requiring cybersecurity, anti-money laundering, and regular reporting. The SEC, or Securities and Exchange Commission, KASP rules in 2025 also require crypto asset service providers, or CASPs, to register, hold minimum capital, separate client funds, and provide risk disclosures. So the SEC and the BSP, the regulators, are doing everything they can to protect us, the ordinary investors. Now, what about taxes? Of course, you earn money, so you think the government will not take their slice of the cake? Profits from selling or trading Bitcoin are taxable. The Bureau of Internal Revenue may treat gains as capital gains or business income, depending on trading frequency. Doc stamp taxes may also apply to transactions. So the message here is you need to keep a simple spreadsheet of all your transactions, whether you're buying or selling, to make BIR reporting easy and to avoid penalties. Now, let's talk about the risks every investor must face. Even on licensed platforms like PDAX and coins.ph, Bitcoin is risky. The volatility is very, very high. There has been crashes over 70%. That means your 1,000 pesos can go down to 300 pesos instantly. There's also platform risks from hacks or insolvency, security risks from phishing or lost seed phrases. And thirdly, there's also an ongoing regulatory risk. The government may introduce new laws. They might introduce more and more requirements and even decide to ban some of the cryptocurrencies. On top of that, there's your emotional risk from panic selling or chasing hype. Now, let's talk about the how to invest in Bitcoin. So this is Anna, a 25-year-old from Quezon City, checks the BSP website and sees PDAX listed as a licensed VASP or a Bitcoin platform. She signs up, verifies her account, and transfers 1,000 pesos from BPI via InstaPay. With Bitcoin price at 3 million per Bitcoin, she buys about 0.00033 Bitcoin after a small fee. She enables two-factor authentication and sets a plan to hold it for at least 2 years. But what is a strategy that could make or break Anna's long-term Bitcoin investing success? It's dollar cost averaging. In this case, I call it the Peso Cost Averaging or PCA. It just means investing in a fixed peso amount on a regular schedule, say 1,000 pesos a month, regardless of Bitcoin's current price. By doing Peso Cost Averaging or dollar cost averaging, you don't try to guess the perfect bottom or the top price of Bitcoin. Over time, this smooths out the entry price and reduces your average cost per Bitcoin. Why it works? Dollar or Peso Cost Averaging removes emotions, which is often an investor's biggest enemy. When prices hit all-time highs, you avoid panic or buying too much. When prices crash, you automatically buy more at bargain prices, lowering your overall costs. Bitcoin's past crashes are legendary. In 2013, Crackdown was about 83%. In 2017 to 2018 crash, it was down another 84%. So that's 19,000 to 3,200. And in 2021, crash was about 77%. So Bitcoin was about 69,000. It went down to 15,500. Many lump sum investors bought near those peaks and froze as prices collapsed. PCA investors or dollar cost averaging investors, on the other hand, kept buying small amounts every month and ended up owning more Bitcoin at lower average cost. For example, if you invested 1,000 a month during 2021 to 2022 drop from 3.4 million to 900,000 per Bitcoin, your average cost loss might be 1.6 million. But if you hold it by the time Bitcoin recovered past 2.5 million, you already be in profit, while panic buyers at 2021 peak price would still be waiting to break even. You see, peso cost averaging or dollar cost averaging isn't a get-rich-quick trick, but it's how ordinary investors can invest in Bitcoin without stress and stay invested through highs and lows and come out ahead when the next recovery arrives. So, is Bitcoin a good investment? Bitcoin has outperformed many traditional assets over the past decade, but past performance is no guarantee of future results. And unlike the stock market, we don't have a 100-year history performance to learn from. But someone can argue that the time has changed. We are in the digital era. Companies like Amazon, Meta, Apple don't also have 100-year history as well, but they have been doing very well. Personally, for me, I treat Bitcoin as a high-risk, long-term satellite investment, but not my main portfolio. I keep not over 5% of my portfolio, but that's just me. I don't have the risk appetite to lose more than 10% of my portfolio if the asset doesn't perform well in the future. Young professionals are tech-savvy and ambitious, and exploring Bitcoin can be exciting, but only if done wisely. Make sure you only use legit platforms and protect yourself from hacks and cybersecurity risks. Start small. 1,000 pesos is enough to learn. expect volatility, and plan your exit before you invest. You know, we are blessed to live in this generation where this network of technology is there to improve our lives, and digital assets could be the future or is the future. So is Bitcoin a good investment for you? Only if you understand the rules and respect the risks, and only if you hold it for long term. By starting small, you can turn curiosity into confidence. Like and subscribe if you want more Filipino focused guides on smart investing, and see you in the next video.